Hi guys. So today I am finally going to be doing a little bit of a belated intro video. My friend Julie, who is, she's Peekaboo Rose on Instagram, and she also has a Dolly YouTube channel, which is the Doll Coven. And she asked me if I was going to do this intro thing, sort of a tag thing that she saw. It was Marge Payne's midlife Dolly crisis. So I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions today for you guys. There's 7 of them. So let's do this. So the first question is, what are the origins of your YouTube name? So any of you that know me know that I started out on Instagram. So my YouTube name, Muriel's Mini Obsession, came from my Instagram name, which is the same. But there's also a whole story behind that. This is a little bit of a long one. But I started out actually collecting calico critters. And, I was just like, I was struggling with postpartum depression, and my daughter was 2 at the time, and we discovered calico critters, and it brought me so much joy. And then I found that there were people on Instagram sharing their little scenes of their critters, and I met one of my best friends, Life in Boston 101 on Instagram. And, she was also sharing her critters. And it was such a wonderful thing for me to discover at that time. And as I've gone along, it's sort of progressed from that. And then I started collecting more miniatures, remint. And then my friend Beatrice, who is Our Plastic Muses on Instagram, she has the most amazing dolly scenes with all her miniatures. And she was how I discovered Rainbow High dolls. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to buy one. I'm just going to buy one. And today I have, it could be 90, but I know it's like at least over 70 Rainbow High dolls and Shadow High dolls. And then other people have influenced me to get into other doll lines. So, I've got Monster High now. So over, the course of, I guess it's been around 3 years, I think. It actually started out as Calico Critters obsession. And then it was like some other iteration in between, and then I settled on Muriel's Mini Obsession because I figured that kind of covers everything, because dolls are basically like miniature people, right? And then it covers the minis, the critters, all of those things that I love. So that's where the name comes from. Second question is, what is a fear of yours? So without getting too heavy, I really am not a fan of being in tight spaces. It's a little bit of claustrophobia, and I'm not a fan of heights either. So I'm probably not going to be skydiving. And like the idea of having to get an MRI or anything like that, like being in like a confined tube, or you see these videos of people doing like cave diving. Oh my gosh, like that totally freaks me out. The third question is, what are you good at, or what is a skill that you have? I had to think about this a little bit. I'm not the best at like praising myself, but I think I'm really good at planning parties. And I've thought about being a party planner, but I think if I was doing it all the time, it would be way too stressful for me. But I realized the reason that I'm good at it is because, well, or at least partly because I have ADHD. And so I can be really great at focusing intensely on something for a period of time and like going all out. Um, as long as it's like it's a challenge, it's something, you know, that interests me, and it has like a definite finish to it. It's not something that's happening, you know, routinely. So like the odd birthday party or, you know, Thanksgiving type of thing. I'm all on that. I've got everything planned, invitations, all the food prepped, music. Yeah, I really enjoy doing that, and I think I'm pretty good at it. Fourth question is, what is your favorite movie or TV show, and what are you currently watching? So I would say that my favorite genre of entertainment would be like historical fiction, especially romance. So I love movies like Pride and Prejudice, um, you know, anything Jane Austen. I loved like the Poldark series. I don't know if there was a newer one. There was an older one, there was a newer one, and they were also books. I love that series. Um, right now, my husband and I are actually watching a cartoon called Disenchanted. And it's definitely like on the raunchier side for what I would normally watch. I'm such a square. I am. but but I do find it pretty hilarious. Um and I'm just trying to think of like other favorites of mine. I love a lot of animation and like the Studio Ghibli movies. I also love movies and shows that are kind of on the spookier side. So, like the Wednesday series that was just on Netflix not that long ago. I don't know. My sense of time is messed up. So, I'm like, it's not that like long ago. It was probably 2 years ago. Um, and also, like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I loved that show. Okay, the next question I think is the hardest question. The question is, what is your favorite doll? Now, as a doll collector, that's like an impossible question. I have so many favorites, but I picked out three to share with you today. Um, so, go right ahead. This is one of my favorites. This is Jade Hunter from Rainbow High. Um, and she is the winter break version of Jade. If you could see, her glasses are kind of weird. These are actually Delilah's glasses, but Jade is sort of, I think of her a little bit as like my mini me. Even though we don't really look alike. You know, she's got the green hair, which green is my favorite color. And I gave her Delilah's glasses so that we would both have glasses. Um, yeah, so Jade, and also this one is Carmen Major. And they're wearing these like very funky fashions because I have an event or a running hashtag, I guess, on Instagram. It's called Doll Movie Night. And we had an ABBA inspired, well, the movie theme was Mamma Mia. So they're wearing these kind of like funky, fresh, like disco-esque outfits for that. But these two are actually characters in my diorama that run the cafe, and they are a couple. Mwah. So that's them. Here we go. This is Isul. Midnight Deja Vu. He is like, so he's part of the pull-up family, and I just can't get over his fabulousness. Like, his stock is so rich. And I mean, he's got all of these layers. Sorry, get my head out of the way so it can focus better. It's not focusing that well, but he just has the most fabulous stock. I can't get over it. And I got an absolute steal on him. I had been kind of looking for him, and I saw him listed, at some higher prices. And then I just was like, oh, I have to have him, and I don't want to pay this much. So I just kept looking and digging, and I found him for such a good price, new in box. I was like, I wanted to cry. I was so happy. Yeah, I'm gonna take his hat off. His hat is so fabulous. Like, just the hat alone, details on there are amazing. But he is also so cool. I love his hair color. It's like this really rich brownish red, but it almost has like a little bit of purple to it. You can see that, but and his makeup is so interesting. I'm gonna get out of the frame just so we'll focus on him better. Yeah, he's my baby. I love him so much. And he was part of the Snow White series, actually. So I think he was supposed to be like a male counterpart to like the evil queen character from Snow White. So those are, I guess, currently my favorite dolls, are the ones that are maybe like the have the most significance to me. Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite store for dolls? So as far as actual brick and mortar stores, there aren't really any like doll related stores, like, that are close by, other than Target. I mean, I love Target. Who doesn't love Target? But yeah, I do most of my shopping for dolls and doll accessories and miniatures all online. Um, I would like to mention a couple of makers that I like to support in terms of doll clothes. So, Kato Dolls on Instagram is great, and she does clothes for Rainbow High, Barbies, Pull Up. I'm not sure if she does any other doll clothing sizes, but I've had nothing but great experiences ordering from her shop. And then I really like Ropita's Kawaii, also on Instagram. There's also Uptown Couture. She mainly does Barbie stuff, but she does some Rainbow High as well. I forgot to mention, Ropita's Kawaii is primarily Pull Up and Blythe. And I mean, there's so many miniature makers. I don't think I have time to list them all, but maybe I'll put more like links or their Instagram names in the description box. Okay, so the last question is, what is your style and versus your doll style? So I don't know. How do I describe my style? I guess it's a little bit hippie. I have like a lot of inspiration from growing up in San Francisco, Haight Street, the Haight-Ashbury kind of summer of love vibes. And then that's also mixed with just like my mother, especially now that I'm a mother. I find that I dress even more like my mother. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I tend to like kind of flowy, really colorful things. I'm pretty low maintenance, so I don't make a like my dolls are dressed way better than me most of the time. Um, yeah, I don't know if my doll's style really reflects my style. I think it must somewhat. I do tend to like pick out more colorful pieces for them, but not always. Sometimes I just have an idea of how I want to dress them and I go with that, and it's not my style at all. Um, but yeah, I think like the biggest running theme for me is just like bright colors. I love bright colors. Okay, so I answered all of the questions from the tag. Um, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And my voice is really gravelly today, so I apologize for that. Um, but yeah, it's funny, like in thinking about starting a YouTube channel, uh, this comment has popped into my head that I saw someone write about someone else, but they were like, why should I, spend my time watching somebody talk about things that they've bought? Like, why is that a worthwhile thing? Or why is that justified or whatever? Um, and for me, it's like, yes, there are more important things going on in the world for sure, like globally and just in everyone's personal life. Like everyone has stuff that they're dealing with. Um, but that is not what this is about, really. Like for me, this is the escape from all of that. Being a doll collector, miniature collector, it's about being able to take that time aside for myself and have this sort of like meditative experience of interacting with the dolls and, setting up miniatures in a scene or whatever. It really is therapeutic. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, it is 100% worthwhile to be doing this. I don't know how I would have gotten through my PPD without getting into this world. I mean, therapy helps. Therapy definitely helps. Um, but yeah. Anyway, this was long-winded. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time.